Historically, Luxor was the capital of ancient Egypt, known before as Thebes. Today is a true open-air museum with incredible archaeological remains and a must-visit destination for anyone interested in the old civilizations of Egypt. So buckle up for this ride because that's what we're going to explore in this video. Welcome fellow travelers for this new adventure. Now we just arrived to Luxor yesterday. We're gonna start the visit by the temple of Hatshepsut and then the Valley of Kings. We're gonna take a boat from the east bank to go to the west bank because it's there that everything happened. So the first temple we're gonna see today is the temple of Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut was an Egyptian queen here in the 15th centuries BC. She rules for about 20 years and she's known for taking unusual steps like proclaiming herself pharaoh. She was a little bit like a feminist avant-gardist Egyptian queen here in Egypt, and we're gonna see her temple. The mortuary temple of Hatshepsut is one of the architectural masterpieces of ancient Egypt. Built in the 15th centuries BC, these unique monuments reflect the grandeur and ingenuity of Hatshepsut's reign. Although women in ancient Egypt society enjoyed a relatively high status compared to other civilizations of the time, it was nonetheless exceptional for a woman to ascend to the rank of a pharaoh. Hatshepsut proclaimed herself pharaoh after serving as a regent for her stepson Thutmose III, legitimizing her rule to her divine lineage to Amun, and adopting the traditional attribute of kingship. Nearly 3,500 years after its construction, Hatshepsut's temple, with its terrace structure, rich bas-relief and sculpture depicting the queen wearing pharaonic regalia, remain dazzling testament to the grandeur and bold vision of her reign. By the way, here we have a very great courtyard inside the temples, and then there is few chambers, but we cannot go so far. But you can already see some painting in a really great conservations. There is still the color, the red and the blue, and it's really beautiful. Also something a little bit annoying, if I can say. There is a chamber, and deeper there is other chamber, but it's blocked by a guy. And if you want to go to visit the other chamber, you have to pay a bakshish, you have to pay more, which is a little bit annoying because we already pay the entrance. And this is the case in every temple we visit actually. We have to pay more for unlocked places. I don't really agree with that. I think like as soon as you pay an entrance, you should be allowed to access everywhere, or they have to make the ticket more expensive. The place just behind me is a small temple dedicated to Anubis, the god of mummifications and the protectors of the dead. It's also one of my favorite gods here in Egypt, but again, it's a locked area. And the guy is waiting just in front of the door for a bakshish to come inside. I spent a lot of time to find the information about which is the best hours to come to visit these temples. So I just decided randomly to come at 7 AM, and it was really great because we could shoot without not so many people and sometimes without anyone. But now it's 8 AM and it starts to be more and more busy. So if you come to Hatshepsut temples, I recommend you to go before 8, really early. And also you will get great colors with the sun, sunrise, and it's cool. We are now in the famous King Valley. It's an area where pharaoh and high-ranking nobles were buried during the New Kingdom's period. Here there is 62 tombs in total, and maybe more who wasn't discovered yet. So at the entrance you will pay a ticket of 400 Egyptian pounds, and you can visit 3 tombs, but some of the tombs are extra paid, like the tomb of Seti I, the tomb of Tutankhamun, and the tomb of Ramses V and Ramses VI. And we took an extra for Ramses V and Ramses VI. We didn't took the other one because it was really too expensive. Cool things I didn't know before, but since a year they allow you to film inside the tombs and to take pictures as soon as you don't use flash. So guys, I'm gonna show you what is inside the tomb of a pharaoh.
The Valley of Kings is much more than a simple necropolis. For nearly 500 years it housed the tomb of pharaoh and nobles, offering a final resting place for those who ruled ancient Egypt. Chosen for its isolation and its natural pyramid-shaped mountain, the valley was a sacred place where death was merely a step toward immortality. We entered the tombs, carved directly into the rock. The winding corridor led to a richly decorated chamber, where the walls tell the story of the kings and their quest for the afterlife. For the Egyptians, death was not an end, but a passage to eternity. The vision of the afterlife was deeply embedded in their daily lives. And each tomb was designed as a place of transformation, a space where the deceased could continue to live. The fresco and bas-relief adorning the tomb's wall were not merely artistic representation. They narrate the adventures and trials the deceased had to overcome to attain immortality. The scene symbolized the spiritual journey, where the pharaoh, accompanied by the gods, faced the darkness of the underworld to be reborn.
Big surprise for this day, I didn't know, but actually it's included to see another temples in the tour. So after the Valley of Kings, we're gonna see the temple of Ramses III.
Yeah, but look here. First, we will see.
I'm really surprised by this temple. I didn't know we will be here in the temple of Ramses III actually, but this is one of the most beautiful temple I saw here in Egypt. Really, you still have the original color here. You can see at the roof, and then the column as well. There is blue, there is red. It's really, really magnificent.
The Temple of Medinet Habu was my favorite artistically speaking. Built in the early 12th centuries BC during the reign of Ramses III, this temple embodies the architectural grandeur of ancient Egypt. The bas-relief that adorned the temple revealed impressive technical mastery, with every detail finely crafted, giving incredibly deepness to those scenes. The light, the harmony of proportions, and the intensity of the battle scenes make this temple a masterpiece in terms of design and execution. Ramses III, who ruled at the end of the 12th dynasty, marked this era with his resistance to foreign invasion, and his temple stands as a testament to the power and strength of Egypt at that time.
It's 5 AM, we wait for the bus, just wake up 30 minutes earlier. This morning we wake up very early, we actually wake up at 4:30. They told us to be ready for 5, but they came to pick us at 5:40, which is really late. But at least we are on a boat now and we have a nice coffee breakfast here, because today is a special day. Today we're gonna fly on a hot air balloon. Let's go.
Here I'm gonna introduce you the crew. Here son Los Argentinos, les Français, Chinese here, and England.
After this amazing experience in the hot air balloon this morning, it was really incredible. We are now to the Temple of Karnak in the middle of Luxor. It's actually the bigger one and also one of the biggest religious complexes in all the antiquity. The Temple of Karnak is mainly dedicated to the god Amun-Ra, which is the god of the sun. This temple is also the most famous one, so obviously there is a million of people inside and it's really hard to avoid that. We found the cat of the temple, official honor of this place. It's pretty a big house just for little things like this. It's also very, very beautiful with the light of the sun going down.
The Temple of Karnak is one of the most impressive architectural jewels of ancient Egypt. It embodied the grandeur of the cult of Amun, the creator's god and ruler of the cosmos. Amun, also god of the air and fertility, gradually became the supreme deity of Egypt, marrying with Ra, the sun god, to become Amun-Ra. A solar and creative deity, master of the universe. At Karnak, he was worshipped alongside Mut, the mother goddess, and their son Khunsu, the moon god, forming a sacred trinity symbolizing birth, creations, and regeneration. Built and expanded over more than 2,000 years, Karnak was a spiritual and political center of the country. And each pharaoh came here to offer gifts and perform rituals to assert the legitimacy before the gods. One of the most fascinating aspects of Karnak is how it was designed to welcome light. Every morning at sunrise, the first rays of light bathe the giant columns of the hall, creating a beautiful show where the light illuminates the high relief that adorn the walls. And at sunset, the golden light flowed down the pylon, lighting up the divine scene as if the temple were ignited with sacred energy.
We decided to come anyways to the Temple of Luxor because even by night the light of this temple is beautiful. It's one of the temples we close very late here in Luxor, so you can come to visit by night. I will not bother you with the history of this one, just to know that this temple, as well as the Temple of Karnak, is dedicated to the Theban triad of Amon, Mut and Khunsu. And for now, for the end of this video, we're just gonna enjoy the beautiful light on the temples. And I catch you in the next adventure.
Egypt feels like a dream suspended in time, where the ancient stone whispering forgotten stories, and the temple take on a mystical horror. Walking among its columns and massive statues feel like walking among the gods. Between the impressive pyramid of Giza and the splendor of the temples of Luxor, I was amazed by the beauty of those artistic feats. This country leaves an indelible mark on everyone who set foot here. I chose to discover the country on my own, backpacking. The first steps were difficult, the immersion into the culture intense. But over time, I learned to uncover its treasures. However, something was missing from my journey. The hidden pearl of Egypt, the destinations of bold travelers who venture off the beaten path. A treasure jealously guarded deep inside the desert. But this quest will be for the next video. If you like it, leave a like and your feedback in the comment. And don't forget to subscribe to follow my adventure across Egypt and to the rest of the world. See you soon for the next chapter.